McDonald's UK has just launched a brand new promotion revolving around their secret menu. They brought in 6 limited time menu items, including unique burger combinations and some interesting looking desserts. Now it's a cool promotion, but there is one problem. I think they could have gone bolder. So today I'm going to try and review all 6 of their limited time menu items. And as an added bonus, I'm going to give my own suggestions for what I think they could have done to the secret menu to make it even more fun. So here it is, the officially unofficial McDonald's secret menu. These 6 limited time items are as follows. A surf and turf burger. For the surf and turf burger, you get 2 beef patties, cheese, onions, pickles, mustard, and ketchup, paired with one of their Filet-O-Fish patties. The chicken cheeseburger. The chicken cheeseburger is a single beef patty with cheese, onions, pickles, mustard, ketchup, and one of their chicken patties. Then we have the chicken Big Mac. It's the same components as a regular Big Mac, except for the beef, which has been substituted out for 2 chicken patties. Then we have an espresso milkshake. It's one of McDonald's vanilla milkshakes, served with a shot of espresso to mix in. The apple pie mini McFlurry. It's a mini version of their Galaxy Caramel McFlurry served with an apple pie. And then finally, Big Mac sauce. Does what it says on the tin. It's their signature Big Mac sauce, but in dip form. I'm really hungry. I'm gonna try these out and give you my thoughts. Let's start with the surf and turf. Obviously, a surf and turf is a classic like steakhouse dish. I am fascinated to see it in McDonald's form. Let's dig in. Interesting. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The beef double cheeseburger from Mackey's, one of my favorite burgers, full stop, let alone fast food burgers. So for me, if you're taking that and you're kind of messing with the formula in quite an extreme way, like they've done here, it's bold, and I think there should kind of be like a reason behind it. I'd say the first thing that hits your palate is the beef, and you kind of like, oh, you know, it's a cheeseburger. Then the more you chew, I think the more the fish comes through. I think it's pollock that they use in the Filet-O-Fish here in the UK, and it's got a really flaky texture. What that kind of does is like, as you're chewing the rest of it and the beef and the bread, you're mostly feeling the texture of the flaky fish while you're kind of chewing beef, which is just not something that I'm personally used to doing. And then I think actually the more you chew it, the more the fish flavor comes through. So the kind of like initial taste I would say is fairly standard double cheeseburger, and then the aftertaste is Filet-O-Fish. I wouldn't say you're getting like a marriage of the flavors there. I think it's more like you get one, then you get the other. The current way it's assembled is like the cheeseburger and then a fillet stuck underneath. What if I disassemble, put the fillet in between the beeves, and then reassemble? Does that help kind of like meld the flavors a little bit more? I actually might let them cook. I might be onto something there. I think I actually much prefer it that way around. I guess it requires a little bit more finesse from the McDonald's staff to assemble it that way. But I actually think if you put the Filet-O-Fish patty in between the beef patties, you get a much better flavor blend. Sometimes it's as simple as that, you know, changing the order of a few ingredients can make a big difference. On the whole, would I be ordering the surf and turf instead of my standard beloved double cheeseburger? No, I absolutely would not. It's interesting, and I think with a little bit of changing up the assembly order, it improves. However, I still don't love that kind of texture contrast that you get between the slightly kind of chewy meat fibers from the beef and those flaky bits of fish. Not a huge fan of that, and I don't think the flavors bounce off each other super well. Sticking with that theme of interesting variations on the cheeseburger, here we have the chicken cheeseburger. Single beef patty, and one of their chicken patties. Now, important to note, it's not one of the McCrispy patties, which are the actual like chicken breasts that they bread and fry. This is one of the more kind of mayo chicken or McChicken patties. It's kind of just like a reformed chicken piece, like a big nugget, basically. If I'm getting a chicken burger from Mackey's, I do want the actual chicken. So I'm kind of sad that there isn't like a McCrispy variant of this, but we'll give it a try. Someone called me out on a video recently for doing that, every time I eat some food. But it warrants kind of an acknowledgement, and also, I'm thinking about it. I see what you've done there, guys. I do think my biggest issue with the surf and turf was the texture, that like flaky fish versus the chewy meat. Whereas because this one is 2 meat components, you don't really get that issue. The flavors marry up fairly well, I'd say better than the fish and the beef did. Although I think maybe that marriage of flavors is working better because the chicken just doesn't really offer anything. It's a very one-sided relationship, this one. In general, this one just feels a bit bland. I'm not really sure why. Because even just like, I think the cheeseburger on its own feels like it's got more flavor than this, whereas adding that chicken to it is somehow just detracting from all the overall flavor. I think because it's that kind of like big chicken nugget reformed chicken patty, it's kind of just like a big flavor sponge, which, I mean, it's fine, but does it warrant an inclusion? Again, probably not. Next up, we have the chicken Big Mac. Now, before I even eat and review this, I do have a bone to pick with the Chicken Big Mac. This is not a secret menu item. This has been on the official menu a few times before. It was first added to the UK menu way back in February 2022. In fact, reviewing that was one of the first videos I actually put on this channel. For the sake of this, and because it is on the secret menu according to McDonald's this time, I will still review it. However, kind of loses points for not actually being a secret menu item. It is really tasty. Like, whenever this does pop back on the menu, I will usually get one. The Big Mac sauce goes well with chicken. I mean, it's Big Mac sauce. It could kind of go well on anything. Again, I just think in general, the chicken, or at least this type of chicken from Mackey's, those kind of like reformed patties, just bring so little to the table that all they're really doing is kind of acting as a blank canvas. They do have a nice texture to them. I do find that kind of like slight tear that you get from a McDonald's chicken nugget quite satisfying, but they really are just like the beigest food imaginable. We'll get to it in a second, but I think actually adding even more Big Mac sauce to this might be the move. If you like Big Mac sauce, or if you like any other sauce, put a load of it on and that is just all you will taste. It's not bad, but the flavors don't wow me, and also it's just not a secret menu item. It's literally been an official menu item several times in the past. Now we're getting more towards the sweeter side of the menu. Here we have the Espresso Milkshake. This one I'm actually excited by. This seems like a good idea. What they do is they give you one of their vanilla milkshakes, which personally I love, and then separately they give you a shot of espresso. What you then do is simply add the espresso into the milkshake. Give it a little mixy mix, a little tossy toss. Shout out to Bradley Oni. And voila, you have a vanilla coffee milkshake. Let's give it a quick try. That's just good. I'm going to come to it later because I have like a slight variation for this that I would suggest for my own secret menu. But I do think in general, that combination of ice cream from McDonald's and their coffee is the move. You're still predominantly getting vanilla milkshake, but even with a larger one like this, you do get quite a strong hit of that coffee as well. It's creamy, it's frothy, and there is now caffeine in it, so it kind of perks you up as well. This for me puts like any Starbucks frappe that I've had to shame, and it's from McDonald's, so there you go. I'm still just really not a coffee drinker. I am a tea boy. I'm very British in that regard. But if there's a way to kind of sneak coffee into my diet like that, then maybe that could be the way. Feels like when you have to like blend vegetables into a sauce to make your toddler eat them. It's kind of like me with coffee. Next up, we have the Apple Pie Mini McFlurry. These are given to you separately, but I've combined them like this because that's how the picture looked on the website. So you have one of their mini-size McFlurries, which currently is the Galaxy Caramel flavor, and then they give you an apple pie. I am such a McDonald's apple pie head. I mean, one of the fast food menu items that we actually completely smoke America in, because we still deep fry our apple pies and they do not. I don't know why, of all the insane stuff you see Americans do with food, that's where they draw the line. But I'm glad we don't. I mean, I feel like this one is gonna be a relatively straightforward review because I like McFlurries and I like apple pies, but we'll give it a try. As I kind of expected, that's very good. If I had to nitpick a little bit, I would say that serving it like that, I think all of the heat has just transferred straight from the apple pie into the McFlurry. So this is now completely melted and the apple pie is kind of cooled down. So despite that being kind of how they advertised it, I probably wouldn't serve it like that. But I think if you just have an apple pie and you kind of like dip it into the McFlurry as you go, that's probably the move. Another slight note, this is the Galaxy Caramel McFlurry, but I think partly because it's now melted and gone to soup, you're not really getting any of the caramel or the chocolate pieces. I think they've all just kind of sunk to the bottom. Again, could probably be mitigated if you just kind of dunked it as you went. Pretty much every Brit will have had some apple crumble at some point in their life. Typically we serve that in the UK with custard, maybe cream or ice cream. And this really is kind of evoking that apple pie and ice cream feeling, which I think again, for many Brits is going to be quite a nostalgic, comforting thing. For me, it certainly is. And then the final item on the McDonald's secret menu promotion is Big Mac sauce. I was convinced that this had been on the menu before, but I was doing some Googling and I couldn't find it anywhere, so maybe I've kind of Mandela affected myself on that one. Another slight issue with this one, I suppose, in that it's just a little unambitious. They haven't even combined any menu items for this one. They've literally just taken an ingredient and sold it separately. You technically can get this whenever. You just have to order a Big Mac and then use the customization options to remove everything except the sauce. I had to do that once or twice for videos, and the staff are usually a bit confused. Sometimes I get it in the kind of box just on its own. Sometimes I got it in a cup. Kind of varies, but it is possible. You do just have to pay full Big Mac price for it. I mean, again, I think this one might be a slightly straightforward review because I've had Big Mac sauce many times in the past before, and I know it's tasty, it's good. The UK has something called burger sauce, and it's kind of just a version of burger sauce, but very signature to McDonald's. I mean, again, it is Big Mac sauce. It tastes like Big Mac sauce. What more can I say? I do think this should just be on the menu permanently anyway, like they have it in McDonald's. It is really good. It works well with chips. It works well with the chicken options on their menu. Maybe this is them just trialing it out and they can kind of wheel it out after this. Tasty, but again, I think loses points for unoriginality. So overall, if I had to rank these, I'd say the desserts are probably going to come out on top. For me, the espresso milkshake is kind of inspired, and that probably takes my #1 spot. The apple pie McFlurry is probably coming in second place. I obviously just love the apple pies, and I think having the smaller version of the McFlurry with it goes really well. I think my third place, I'm going to slightly reluctantly give to the chicken Big Mac. I say reluctantly because it has just been on the menu before, so it probably shouldn't qualify for the secret menu, but it is probably the tastiest of the remaining options. Fourth place, going to the Big Mac sauce. Again, losing points, I think, just because it's a single item. It hasn't been combined with anything in any kind of interesting way. And again, I think for me, should just be on the menu permanently, and kind of is if you're willing to pay £3 for it. Then we're just down to the other two burgers. Not much to separate them. I actually think, given the correct assembly with the fish in the middle of the beef, I'll give fifth place to the surf and turf. And then last place, just due to the lack of originality and flavour, is the chicken cheeseburger. Overall, I like what they've gone for. I think it's a fun menu concept. I just think they've fallen a bit short and played it a little safe. So with that said, I'm going to clear these away and show you a couple of things that I think would be good secret menu additions. Just quickly before I carry on with the video, I wanted to shout out today's sponsor, Holy. Holy is a fantastic alternative to classic energy and soft drinks. They were kind enough to send me a few products to try out, and I immediately fell in love with it. They have multiple drink options depending on what type of drink you're after. They have hydration drinks with electrolytes and minerals for the exercise focused amongst you. They have energy drinks which give you a slow caffeine release over 4 hours thanks to their trademarked new caf. My personal favourites so far have been their iced tea flavours. Honestly, cannot get enough of the iced tea ones. I've already gone through basically the whole box. Just fill up your shaker with water, add the flavour sachet, then do your best mixologist impersonation. And then in seconds, you've got a delicious, hydrating beverage. I'm really bad at remembering to drink water throughout the day, and also water on its own can be a little bland, so I found that having Holy on hand throughout the day has been really helpful in keeping me hydrated. The best news is that they're currently running a New Year, New Me offer. Right now you can get their starter set deluxe for just $59.99, down from £114.95. The starter set contains one of their shakers as well as a ton of Holy flavours for you to try out. Even better news, I have a discount code for you. You can use code Kersh5 for a £5 discount on your first order with a minimum spend, or just use the code Kersh for 10% off your order. Thanks again to Holy for partnering with me. Back to the video. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Harry's McDonald's secret menu. I've put together some items which I think beat McDonald's own secret menu creations for ingenuity and flavour. First up, we have some assembly to do. I'm going to make the Land, Sea and Air burger. So to make the Land, Sea and Air burger, you will need the following things. You need a double cheeseburger, you need 2 McDonald's chicken patties, and you need a filet o fish. I'm going to take my double cheeseburger and I'm going to try and separate these meat patties from each other, although they're kind of glued together with the cheese. Now into the middle of this, I'm adding one of my chickens, my second chicken, and of course, my fish. I will say this one is not my own creation, this is an infamous McDonald's secret menu item. Assembly instructions online do vary. Most of the ones I've seen have another bread piece in the middle, kind of like a Big Mac. So I'm gonna go with that one, with my fish, with my chicken, and there it is. The Land, Sea and Air burger. Like I say, this one is not technically my own creation, this is just an internet thing from many years ago. Obviously with McDonald's own secret menu, they combined fish and beef and chicken and beef. They should have just gone the whole hog. Give the Land, Sea and Air burger its roses. It's enough of a McDonald's legend at this point. It deserved a spot on the secret menu. That said, I've never actually tasted one of these before, so maybe they did do some testing and decided that it was too much, but I'll be the judge of that. Can I even get all of this in my mouth in one go? Who am I kidding? Of course I can, it's me. Oh no. Is there a hell of a lot going on? Yes. Is there borderline too much going on? Probably also yes. However, is this what I think of when I think of a secret menu item? Yes, definitely is. McDonald's with their own secret menu just played it a bit too safe. I wanted a bit more of this chaos. I think when people think of secret menu items, they think of slightly wacky, slightly stonerish creations, and this is absolutely that. I'm actually gonna try one more bite because I wanna try and focus a bit more on what I'm tasting when I bite into this thing. Again, I wouldn't necessarily say the flavors kind of blend together that much. You mostly, like with one chew, will get a bit of beef, then we'll chew a bit of a fish. So it's not like they're kind of blending harmoniously into this beautiful symphony of flavors. But I do kind of love this thing. I admire the sense of scale I admire the ingenuity. This one could be nicknamed like the Icarus because it maybe flies slightly too close to the sun, but it's a McDonald's legend. I think it deserves a spot on the secret menu. Next up, I have a secret menu item straight out of my own imagination. This one is actually so simple that I'm shocked they've never had it on the menu before. It's a chip butty. What I'm gonna do is take the bun from a filet of fish, optionally leave the cheese in there. I'm gonna do it because it's kind of just melted into the bread at this point. Then you're simply gonna take some McDonald's fries and combine. Then simply, as Josh Wiseman would say, crown your king. And there we go. We have the McChip butty. Chip butties are a beloved UK dish. As you can see, it's pretty much exactly what it says on the tin. It's a chip sandwich. I'd say the most commonly found form of these in the UK come from fish and chip shops. The classic version will consist of chip shop chips, which are those nice thick cut juicy ones, in between usually a soft bread roll with some butter. And then obviously you're gonna top it with a bunch of salt and vinegar. They're great value for money, they're extremely satisfying, and they're enjoyed by Brits up and down the country. The reason why I've gone for the Filet-O-Fish bun as the base is because you get a bit of that tartar sauce. It's kind of evoking those like chip shop chip butties. But of course, we'll see how it tastes. I'm losing so many chips. Honestly, that's great. The chips have actually gone a bit cold, which I was worried about. But I think when they go cold, the McDonald's fries go a little bit more stodgy. So it actually does kind of remind you of those like slightly stodgy chip shop chips. The tartar sauce is a good addition. The Filet-O-Fish bun is good. It's like pillowy, has a touch of sweetness to it. So you get like a little bit of flavor contrast going on. It's stodgy, it's satisfying. What more could you want? For me, this just seems like a complete open goal for McDonald's. It's super cheap for them to produce. They could just have it on the menu as a kind of like value meal, affordable item. They could definitely have had it as part of the secret menu. As far as I'm concerned, this is a winner. For the next Harry secret menu item, I'm actually going to make a small tweak to something that they have already tried. Obviously on the official secret menu, they had that espresso milkshake, which I did think was really good, but slightly missed a trick. Instead of combining an espresso with a milkshake, I would suggest combining an espresso with a McFlurry. We're calling this one the affogato. For those who haven't had one, an affogato is an Italian dessert. It's just a scoop of ice cream with an espresso poured over the top. For me, this gives you all the same delicious flavors as the espresso milkshake, but you get it in dessert form rather than as the drink component in your meal. This, especially with the mini McFlurry size, forms quite a nice, almost quite refreshing dessert. I think the coffee goes a long way to making it feel less indulgent, more like a pick-me-up. If you've never had an affogato, definitely order one the next time you go to an Italian restaurant, or just try my version. The final Harry secret menu item is a little outside the box, so just stick with me. Obviously, McDonald's tried introducing a sauce option with their secret menu, the Big Mac sauce. Like I said, for me, that's too familiar and they've played it a bit too safe. So allow me to introduce my alternative. Vanilla milkshake dip. If you don't already know, dipping fries into a McDonald's vanilla milkshake is one of the ultimate pro moves. Something about the flavor combination between those two things is just incredible. But that concept is not without its flaws. Sometimes I just don't want the milkshake as the drink component of my meal. At times they can feel a little too indulgent. Not everyone wants that much dairy in their systems. Also, if you dip too many of the chips into the milkshake, you end up losing too much of the salt and oil from the fries into the milkshake. And that can mean that that last bit of milkshake you're drinking is quite unpleasant. So here is my proposed solution. Put small amounts of milkshake into dip pots. Obviously, compared to your typical sauces, I think these might have some issues with perishability, but I think keeping them frozen or refrigerated would probably get around most of that. This way you get the best of both worlds when it comes to dunking your chips into milkshake. You're not overdoing it on the dairy, you're not contaminating a whole milkshake with the fries, but you still get that delicious, delicious flavor combination. For me, that's a no-brainer. That's delicious. So there we have it. We went through McDonald's own secret menu plus my own personal suggestions. What do you guys think? Do you agree that they maybe played it a little bit safe, or have you tried some of theirs and actually really liked them? Did you like the sound of my secret menu items, or have I fully lost my mind at this point? Are there any other secret menu items that I should try, either from the general public or from your own imagination? That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, please subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads. I've got lots more very fun content in the pipeline. Thanks again to Holy. If you do check them out, be sure to use my discount code, which will be in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you later.